Story time. Chief Ekena is a man of ambition and charm. A powerful politician, he rises to prominence in the capital of Aba City, where his fiery speeches and promises of change makes him a household name. His campaign is simple: he will get rid of corruption in the nation and ensure that the people will grow, not just the elite. But as with most men of power, Ekena's charm comes with a price. His eyes are sharp, always scanning for opportunities. Yet there is a warmth in his smile that convinces the people that he is the one for them. He wears expensive suits, tailored to perfection, and his hair is always neatly trimmed, giving him the look of someone who has control over his life. But beneath the surface, Ekena has a secret. The people of Aba City love him for his promises. They rally behind him, believing that it would bring a better life to the struggling masses. Nena, a young school teacher in the city, is one of the many who sees Ekena as a beacon of hope. She is intelligent, determined, and deeply devoted to her community. Nena has dreams of seeing a future where education is free for all, where the children of the poor has access to the same opportunities as those born into wealth. She believes in Ekena and his message, but she doesn't know the man behind his speeches. It is during an election year that Nena's world begins to shift. Ekena runs for the presidency, making grand promises to the people. His speeches echoes throughout the streets of Aba City, promising to bring electricity to rural areas, build hospitals, and eliminate government corruption. He speaks passionately about the nation's future, claiming that only by removing the corrupt politicians and businessmen who control the country could the nation be set free. The night for his campaign rally, the streets are filled with excitement. Ekena stands on a grand stage, his presence commanding attention as the crowd cheer. He promises them that change is imminent. "If you elect me," he shouts, his voice rich and powerful, "I will give you what the old politician could not. I'll bring you prosperity, justice, and opportunities." The people will rise above their station. The people scream with joy, chanting his name. To them, Ekena is their savior. He has the confidence of a man who knows exactly what the people want. But there is something that Nena couldn't shake. Despite the excitement in the air, something feels off. Over time, Nena becomes more involved in the campaigns, organizing rallies and speaking to others in the communities about the change they need. But as she spends more time with Ekena, she begins to notice things that contradict his promises. Ekena has a team of loyal but ruthless supporters, men who has gained power by getting dirty in the political trenches. They use bribery, manipulation, and intimidation to maintain Ekena's grip on power. The money he promises to the people seems to disappear before it reaches the intended project. And the promises of building schools and hospitals remain empty words. One evening, Nena overhears a conversation in a local restaurant between Ekena and a wealthy businessman, Mr. Oluwole. They speak quietly, but the words are clear. "You know what must be done. The election must be won at all costs, and I need that contract for the power plant. Let's talk numbers, Chief Ekena," Mr. Oluwole says, his tone slick with greed. "Of course, Mr. Oluwole," Ekena responds, his voice just as smooth. "We'll ensure the people hear what they want, just as long as I get what I need. The rest is just politics." Nena stands frozen, her heart sinking. The man she had once believed in, the man she had campaigned for, spoken to others about, is not the man she thought he was. The promise of change are nothing but smoke and mirrors. Disillusioned but determined, Nena confronts Ekena one afternoon. She finds him in his lavish office, sitting behind a large mahogany desk, and for the first time, she sees him not as the politician, but as the man who betrayed the trust of the people. "You promised us change, Chief Ekena," Nena says, her voice shaking with both anger and disappointment. "You said you would fight corruption, but you are just like the others. You have sold out the people for your own gain." Ekena looks at her with a mixture of pity and amusement. "Nena, my dear," he says smoothly, leaning back in his chair, "you don't understand. Politics is a game. The people will cheer for you, but in the end, it's the ones with the money and power who run the country. I'm just doing what needs to be done to stay on top." Nina's heart breaks. The man she had put her faith in is nothing but another opportunist. "I won't support you anymore," she says firmly. "I won't be a part of your lies." Ekena smiles coldly. "You are free to do as you wish, but remember this, Nina. You're just one voice. The people will always follow power, and that power is mine. Now get out of my office." The election arrives, and despite the scandals and the whispers of corruption, Ekena wins. The people vote for him, not knowing the truth about his dealings. His speeches becomes more impressive, his promises more extravagant, but it doesn't last. In the months that follow, the economy collapses, the promised projects are left unfinished, and the people grow restless. The truth about Ekena's corruption leaks, slowly at first, but soon enough it becomes impossible to ignore. Protesters fill the streets of Aba City, demanding justice. Ekena's power base begins to crumble, as his ties with corrupt businessmen and foreign investors becomes public. In the end, it isn't the people who rise above their station, it is Ekena who falls from grace, his political empire collapsing under the weight of his own greed. The people who once cheered for him now turn their backs, and Ekena is left isolated, a shadow of the man he once was. Nina, heartbroken but wiser, continues her work in education, dedicating herself to a future that doesn't rely on empty promises and political manipulation. She knows that real change comes not from the top, but from the ground up. The end. Thank you for watching. If you love stories like this and would love to see more stories like this, please give me a follow, leave a like, and comment your thoughts on the story below.